This daf Yom Yerushalmi Shevi'is. In the article Ozvar edition, we're on daf Chaf Amud Aleph, for the beginning of Halacha Beis, and in the Vilna on daf Zayin Amud Aleph, the beginning of Halacha Beis. And as we say daily, this Eisar Yaakov, the schools of Lim Yerushalmi during this time should be devoted to the Yishur Natzlacha of Am Yisrael and Eretz Yisrael. So also them so they sholosh ashbosas a besa. Person makes his field 3 ashbosas per besa. We saw that before. Yoser mikan, and more than this, divrei Rabbi Shimon. So this also we saw. So the Torah what we didn't say Rabbi Shimon before, but the question is what this adds. No, we said Rabbi Shimon also. So the question is what this adds. What this adds to the previous Mishnah. Chama say until it's 3 tvachim deeper or 3 times higher than the face of the ground. Because then obviously it doesn't look like you're putting out for planting purposes. Also, zivla otzar. The person can make the one large ashba as opposed to 3, one super large ashba as opposed to 3 large ones, because we said before in the you're allowed to add on the mashpelos. That's the previous Mishnah. Raimer oser ad shamik shlosha o ad shek bia shlosha. Raimer says you're not allowed to add to the mashpelos. That was in the previous Gemara. He says you're not. You want to add mashpelos to make a super otzar. It's got to be 3 above or 3 below. Hayalo dovar muat. If you had a small amount, which Gemara is going to explain, most people of you holich you can add onto it. Those are benazai oser, those benazai asers. No acham shosha should be a shlosha until it's either 3 tvachim deeper, 3 times higher, or actually tain al hasela, or until you put it on top of a stone. I read the Mishnah the way it is in the Kavanaki. The way it is in the Gemara is Yoser Mikan also Divrei Rabbi Shimon. The Bnei Moshe changed it to Mutter. The Kavanaki did away with the issue by taking out the whole word. So which of course you say Yoser Mikan Divrei Rabbi Shimon, then by definition he's being matir, like the Bnei Moshe says the Gersa should be. Okay, so it says, why do you have to tell me this 2 times? The previous Mishnah and this Mishnah. Rabbi Yirmiyah said, Kam bepoches mina mashpelos. Here, Rabbi Shimon is talking about, Shimon says that you can add on the ashbosos, you can do it even if you're diminishing each ashba to less than 10 shovelfuls per ashba. Baram, that is over here in our Mishnah. Baram hacha kan here in our Mishnah. Baram hacha means in the previous Mishnah of ba'osa kashir. There, Rabbi Shimon is talking about when you already have 3 ashbasos, which are the proper shear, and you come to add more fertilizer, you can make another ashba. So the chiddush is here in our Mishnah, even though the fewer mashpelos in the in each one, you're still allowed to make more ashbasos, and the chiddush in the previous Mishnah is when you're osek kashir, you're moisif on the amount of zevel which you're using. Not sure I'm so happy with that interpretation. Give me a second here. Well, I may not be happy with that pshat, but there is no other pshat here, so let's say it again. Or maybe a kamba poiches min hamashpelos. In our Mishnah, Rabbi Shimon is telling you that you can have less mashpelos. Years later, it's the same thing. That than 10 each, as we'll see momentarily. That you can have even 3 is enough. Bramhacha in the previous Mishnah, Bosa Kashir. It's talking about when you have 3 ashpasos at the shear. In other words, there's a lot of zevel out there already, and then even then you're allowed to put out more and make a 4th ashpa. So B'tani came as a brisa. Daited Rabbi Shimon. Bachelor yifchas mishosh ashmashpelos laashpa. You can, as long as there aren't less than 3 mashpelos per ashpa, you can make as many ashpos as you want. Rabbi Meir, then it's in the Gemara says, and the Kamenaki takes that for some reason, I don't know why. B'chachamim osrin. That's obvious. So he changes it in the Kamenaki to Rabbi Meir Oser. Because we're going that part of the Mishnah. Okay, let's see. Meir said, but Oser Yoser Mikashir. Again, he's adding the word to Meir Oser. So he's saying Meir Asers when it's more than the shear. Ava b'kashir b'shloshim makomas mutar b'makom echad lo koshkein. But if it's the proper shear, then if it's 3 places mutar. No, it's actually the same Mishnah. Osad shamik shlosha ad shek bia shlosha. That's when you make it larger than the shear. But if it's when you're making it, well, because you're making your zevel into an otzar, right? So you're making zevel otzar, so it's larger than the shear, so therefore go down 3 up 3. But if you're making the proper shear, which is 10 mashpelos, then shloshim becomes mutar. Then if you're allowed to do in 3 places, without going 3 tvachim higher, 3 tvachim lower, you're certainly allowed to do in 1 place. In 3 places looks more like you're fertilizing the field. You're certainly allowed to do it in 1 place. And as long as it's not making an otzar, it doesn't have to be lower or lower, higher or lower than the rest. Hello, Davin. That's the header in the article on the Kavanaki. Says the Gemara. Pasala train pisrin. We have 2 interpretations of Rabbi ben Azariah. The Machlek is called Rabbi ben Azariah. Passing shelo davar mu b'toch seir b'shvius. First interpretation where you took out stuff from your house during Erev Shemitah, and you left it there during Shemitah. Harezim mosi b'holech. You can be mosi b'holech, but mishapasko of avoda. Only when other people have stopped working the field for Shemitah, then you can add on, because then it's clearly for Shminis. And evidently, the Marasayin of having a little bit of fertilizer, which is not enough to make an ashba, is reversed when you later could put out the enough to make an ashba. It's kind of all's well that ends well, or that someone was saying, but I can't remember what the other saying was going to say. So, but Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah argues. Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah oser. Might Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah Shema lo yim tolo zevel. Maybe you won't have additional fertilizer. It's a mizabel is also mokum. So it came out that you were fertilizing that place because it was less than an ashba size, which looks like fertilizing. And you never rectified it. So therefore, it's also you clearly, at least the maris ayin of being mizabel, you produced. Pasa charim. Another interpretation. Shelo davar mua b'soch beisa erev shvius. When you have a little bit in your house on Erev Shemitah, mevakish lotzil b'soch sadeu shvius. I'm sorry. Mevakish lotzil b'soch sadeu. Yeah, soch sadeu. You want to put it out in your field during Shemitah. Harezim most of a holech mishpasko over the avodah zara. It's mishpasko over the avodah. You can continue putting stuff out on it in order to prevent the marasayin again when the over the avodah stop. As mazar oser, as mazar asher shemalayim to zevel, benin some mazabos also mokom. So you were mazabo ready from the mazabo that place. Now this is a much more bigger kula. It sounds like you take it out even from during Shemitah itself. But the Gemara goes back now and asks on the first shot. Gemara says the lokvar mezubal in the Erev Shevi'is. The wasn't already planted from within already put out the zev for Erev Shevi'is. So why does it look like Marasayan? Why does it look like you're doing for Shvi'is? During Shemitah, doing Shemitah, you already put out from before Shemitah. Rabbi Bar, Rabbi Yirma, Rabbi Bar Chum Bar Chia, but Sher Bar Mem, name Marasayan. It's still Marasayan. Unless you take out 10 at once. Okay, that's our Liz Mizaya. Later, Rabbanim name Marasayan. What Rabbanim know Marasayan? Rabbi Idi, the Chutra, Rabbi Idi, the Chutra said, Salu Magrefo Mechil Lavshu Ose Ashba. Evidently, they have the Sal and Magrefa, which you have, which maybe you leave them out in the field, or I doubt that, you leave it out in the field, but the other interpretation would be that the way you put it out with the Sal and Magrefa, with a basket and a shovel, is not the way you're mezabel, which is when you spread it around. So either because you leave it out as a simon, or because you because the way you put it out it has a hochacha. Now I should tell you that the Kavanaki and the Ribaz and the Kavanaki changed the gears here. The Ribaz says Padla Shem Pasina Groza B'Ktav Kutcha B'Yerushalmi Tachas Yodi Machli B'Gears. So Gasina Kank Shelo Dover Move. So Beso. The first Mahalach is Shelo Dover Move B'Sok Beso. Erev Shevi'is. Chulei Rabbi Eliezer ben Azariah Oser Shema Lo Yim Tzolo Zevel. Nimtzim Zabel Osamokum. Azeh Parech V'Lo Kvar Mezubo Me'erev Shevi'is. So okay, but I think the main point they're doing that is in order to make the question juxtaposed to the pitaron on which it's going. Rabbi Yossi Rabbi Amar Ilin Shmaitza Dehacha. The sugi over here, the Shmaitza, the sugi over here, the Kabbalah puts the word key. Even though putting that's the pshat. Kidani, it's like we learned in a different sugya. You can't make a irrigation canal to begin with, which didn't exist previously, on Cholamoid and Shemitah. Amar Rabbi Zira, it says that why? Because you are prepping its sides for planting. In other words, the banks of the irrigation canal are particularly fertile, and they looks like a brand of Rizriya. Name Myers Ayin. It's a Myers Ayin issue, which Elizabeth is concerned with. Having boy Maymar, so was Maymar, they want to say Manamar Tam name Myers Ayin, both name Myers Ayin. Seems they're both Myers Ayin issues, right? Both over here and over there. Manar Neshu Machsh, that's if you hold Myers Ayin over there. My sign over here, which will have been a sign, Lashita also. Mana Neshu Maksha is Sadel, it's Zriya. But the thing which doesn't hold this because my sign, but rather because you are preparing the sides. It looks like preparing the sides for Zriya, and I guess that's not considered to be Mara sign. I guess you're really preparing them. And that's an issue in and of itself. So, Hacha Mai Islacha Meimar. What's his issue here? So Leisach Elokada. Shem lo yimtza lo zeva b'nimtza mezabel osamakum. Maybe you won't find zeva and you're being mezabel that place. So Yerushalmi is saying, very interesting, the two Pitroinus of Rabbi Eliezer ben Azariah. The first Pitron of Rabbi Eliezer ben Azariah holds that the issue is not Marasayin. It's actually going to be mezabel. The second Pitron of Rabbi Eliezer ben Azariah holds it's initial Marasayin. Because, and that's why even if you so the second Pisron Dharma so based on Erev Shevi'is, and you wanted to put it out during Shemitah. So their Elizabeth said, oh no, that's the second shot. No, I'm making a mistake. No, sorry. In the second shot, we had two different shatim. The first shot because it's nimsa mezubo umzabo sumakom, and right, Bob Rabbi and Rabbi Mechir said we name Marisayin, right? And that's why you have to until you take a ted on shpelos, it's not good. So then the Gemara says, what about Rabbanan? They're not chaysh Marisayin. No, Rabbi doesn't. So he said chuchos to sal greifa mechir love shubas ashba. Now, Rabbi wants to say that the question of whether the issue is Maris Ayin or the Mizabel, which we have over here, is the same issue where we have a machlokes between Rabbi Zir and Rabbi Yerbun in the case of making a canal during Shemitah, irrigation canal. What's the issue? Is the issue because you're mashir Sodel Izriya, or is the issue because of Maris Ayin? So presumably he interprets over here in the case of the ashpos, that it's where you take a two little zevel. That's Maris Ayin issue. It's going to say over there it's also Maris Ayin issue. But the Normal says by us that's an issue of that Nimtza Mizabel is going to say the issue over there is your machshir that's studying Muzriya. What's the difference between the two approaches? Chofer lasos amo shel binyan. You dug a hole, but you dug a hole in order to make construct a building. It's also his Marisayin. You're digging during Shemitah, making a hole. It looks like you're doing work in your field. But the opinion holds it's an actual look. It's not just the looks. Your machshir tzadel hachare ain't a machshir tzadel Israel. Not be machshir tzadel Israel because it's not going to be more fertile because there's a pole there in the ground. So if it's irrigation canal, it's going to be more fertile. Hakomadim shimayolo shom seed otros avanim gypsum, I think it is in English, mutter. So everybody agrees that if you had, that's a new thing actually, new thing. So everybody agrees that if you have in our Mishnah, instead of having 3 tefachim up, 3 tefachim down, sela underneath, if you have plaster or there's gypsum or rocks or stones, it's mutter because everybody can see you're not being mezabel. Okay, and that brings us now to the bottom of Chafaf Amrav. So we'll certainly stop here.